Hello my cine chums and welcome to week 24 of the 2023 weekly movie challenge, where every week we issue you a challenge. Watch a movie that meets certain criteria, preferably a new movie to yourself. However, if you want to watch the Goonies for the 100th time, you're more than welcome to, but if you watch something different, this could be you all week.
I just saw the most amazing thing in my entire life!
Last week's challenge was suggested by two of our followers. PirateDj and Dave Rackliff both suggested watching a movie about one of the five senses. As usual, a fantastic response, so thank you for everyone who took part in this challenge. Popular movies this week included The Sound of Metal, which received 4 views, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and The Menu, which both had 3 watches apiece, and finally Babette's Feast and Flaming Hot, which were both watched twice. Shout outs as usual to Baggy Trousers, Toby Dodgen, Baba Forrest and Ryan Andrews, who all managed to tick off multiple senses by watching more than one movie this week. But a huge shout out and congratulations to PirateDj and Nostromo1, who both managed to hit all 5 senses with 5 different movies. Nostromo1 watched Aruna and Her Palette, Dawn of the Deaf, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, City Lights and Touch of Evil, and PirateDj watched Flaming Hot, Women Talking, Her Smell, The Voyeurs and Boston Strangler. And so on to this week's challenge, where we're going to watch a movie that's based on friendship. As usual, going to run through some suggestions, recommendations, whatever you want to call them, just ideas to get you thinking about what you could watch. So first off, let's start with the buddy comedy. There's 1968's The Odd Couple, in which a bachelor invites his uptight friend, who's just broken up with his wife, to come and live with him for a couple of days. Another equally odd couple featuring the movie Rush Hour. A fast-talking, cocky detective must work with a no-nonsense inspector of the Hong Kong police to solve a kidnapping. The Peanut Butter Falcon is a touching movie about a down-on-his-luck crab fisherman who befriends a young wrestling fan with Down syndrome and promises to take him to a wrestling school. And finally, there's The Nice Guys, 2 private eyes with very different techniques working together to solve a case. There are movies about friendship groups. Staple of my childhood was Stand By Me and The Goonies, 2 movies about a group of friends that go on 2 very different adventures. 2009's Hangover is about 3 friends plus a tag-along who go to Vegas for a bachelor party. And anything the men can do, the women can do equally well, as seen in 2011's Bridesmaids, in which the maid of honour becomes increasingly worried about her position after meeting the bride-to-be's other friends. There are movies about people becoming friends over a period of time. So for example, you have Driving Miss Daisy, a classic about a rich widower becoming friends over time with her chauffeur. The Perks of Being a Wallflower is about high school freshmen who becomes friends with 2 seniors that take him under their wing. The Breakfast Club features 5 very different people who become friends over the course of their detention together. And RRR is about 2 fighters who become friends after realising they're fighting for the same cause. And yes, I did just put Driving Miss Daisy and RRR in the same movie category. Looking at films about long-time best friends, where better to start than with Thelma and Louise? A very different movie, but also about 2 long-term friends that go on a holiday for the first time together, is Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Rounding off this category are Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2 films about 2 men that have been long-term friends and have each other's backs. There are movies in which people forge friendships with creatures or animals, so for example Spielberg's classic E.T. fits well in this category. There are lots of pet options as well, for example Turner and Hooch or Marley and Me. Every Which Way But Loose follows the story of a trucker and his best friend, an orangutan named Clyde. And the wonderful animation How to Train Your Dragon is a touching movie about 2 outcasts who become best friends. A small but interesting niche is people who become friends with inanimate objects. So for example, you could watch Her, in which Joaquin Phoenix becomes friends with and eventually falls in love with his operating system. In a similar vein is Lars and the Real Girl, in which Ryan Gosling introduces his friends and family to a life-size plastic doll as his new girlfriend. Christopher Robin tells a story of a man who as a child had a best friend named Winnie the Pooh. And while stranded on an island, Tom Hanks' Chuck Nolan becomes best friends with a basketball that washed up in the plane crash. So there's some suggestions to get you started. Use the comments below to let us know what you're going to be watching or if you've got any recommendations. And if you give this video a thumb up, I'll be your best friend. And on that note, thanks for watching, good luck with the challenge, and we'll see you next week.